The business of theatre is not for the faint-hearted, which is why Joburg Theatre is only just breaking even. They say that is their goal for now, but the future prospects of theatre showbiz as an industry remains promising, and that's because Joburg is not short of talents. We understand that Joburg Theatre is a municipal-owned entity, so the question is, does Joburg Theatre actually make money?
You know, we don't really make profit. We try and basically break even. The City of Joburg give us a subsidy, and that basically covers the running of the theatre, the actual building costs and the salaries. And we get a budget to put on productions. So our goal is always to break even.
Is that the goal, or do you have plans to actually change that strategy so you can get a healthy return of the investment?
Well, the idea is obviously to get a healthy return and to get a surplus every single year. And the only way we'll get that is through sponsorship.
Okay.
Because the City of Joburg, like I said, the money that we get isn't enough for productions. So we need to try and find partnerships and sponsorship in order to really grow.
What would you say is the current growth potential? And what are the stumbling blocks?
Okay, so basically, I do believe the economy is taking quite a knock off the business at the moment. I do think in a time of recession, people are a lot more careful with what they do with their leftover money at the end of the month. But I do think, there's some shows that sell out, and there's some shows that don't sell out. So there is an audience, and it's definitely growing. And we also find that in a recession, people actually need that form of entertainment as a stress release.
Absolutely, but as you've indicated, these are tough economic times, and it's expensive to actually go to the theatre and watch a production.
Yes.
Are you considering economic factors to actually look at bringing pricing down?
We try to, we've got to be very careful, because you also don't want to lower your prices, because then the community will think, gosh, is that a low quality production?
So it's a psychological thing there.
Exactly. So we try and maintain our prices. Our top price at the moment is 400 Rand a ticket. So we try not to go over that unless it's a top international show. But like I say, we try not to go above there. The lowest is about 80 Rand. And then with our annual pantomime, we try and only increase our prices every 2 years.
What are your strategic goals? What are you hoping to attract to the theatre in this current financial year?
Well, we're trying to obviously get a lot more theatre goers, and the goal at Joburg Theatre is to provide the ultimate best theatre experience. Come to the theatre, relax, and just have a great time. And our strategy is basically we do a lot more shorter runs, and we offer something for everybody.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of ballet, a musical, an opera, comedy.
There's a lot of international productions that gets played at the theatre as well. What is the percentage buy-in from the local sector, from local producers?
There's really a handful of local producers, unfortunately, and it's due to the expense of productions. There's literally 4 or 5, and the emerging young producers, they battle to raise the money and rely a lot on corporate sponsorship. But we try and support the younger producers. Ultimately, that's our future target market.
Sure. The budget that you have, you mentioned you use that budget to subsidize productions. Is there an allocation to support local producers as part of that subsidy?
There's a very small allocation, yes. And we've got to look at the return on investment. And we also try and be quite clever with the productions. Shorter runs are key. Gone are the days where you could have a 3-4 week run of a brand new production, because people just don't know the product, and that's when, and it's expensive because you've got the same kind of running costs.
Yeah.
You've got your rehearsals, your production, your technical side, and that's all the same. And the only way you can really make your money back is by having a return in ticket sales.
Yeah.
But the problem then is you go into that risk. What if you don't make profits?
Sure. One of the strategic goals of the City of Joburg is actually to transform the local economy, to encourage the development of small business growth, of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
How does that tie in, or how does Joburg Theatre talk to those broader objectives? Because from what you're saying, I'm assuming that local producers are left a bit on the sidelines when it comes to actually capitalizing on that budget.
Yes, I mean, it is, like I said, it's quite sad because we want to support them. We try and support as much as possible. We also try and get into partnerships so that they pay a percentage and we pay a percentage, and then we split the box office.
Yeah.
That also encourages the producers to work hard on the marketing, because often people think, okay, there, I've spent my money and the show must sell itself.
Yeah.
And there you have another problem, is how do you market it? And we know what the cost of marketing is: television, radio, magazines. It's incredibly expensive. So that's where we try and form partnerships. We do try and support the community with using local suppliers and smaller businesses.
Sure. And in terms of the local talent, what kind of feedback can you provide us with in terms of that? Because that will speak volumes about how the sector is growing and the direction in which it's moving.
There is amazing local talent, absolutely amazing. We get blown away every single time we have auditions. Sometimes we're looking for 1 or 2 roles and we have 200 artists coming to audition.
Yeah.
So the talent is there. A lot of our productions this year, we had West Side Story earlier on in the year, completely local cast. We had Sister Act a couple of years ago. People that come are blown away. They actually say, gosh, are those South Africans? The talent is huge and we want to support them.
Okay, that's very encouraging. What is your perception overall of the long-term potential of the arts and culture sector in Johannesburg?
I think long term, I think at the moment we're going through a little bit of a difficult time, but it's also been proven that if you put on the right shows, people come, whether there's a recession or not. So we're finding now that people love comedy and music. So we're trying to, you've got to learn, you've got to go with the times. We do research all the time because what worked last year didn't work this year.
Yeah.
So we're trying to see really what the people want, and we want to honor that and support, like I say, local. That's our biggest goal, is to transform.
Hi, I'm Sophie Ndaba, and you are watching Joburg Today.
Speaking of local talent, Big City, Big Dreams is the latest ballet production coming to Joburg Theatre on the 28th of July. Joburg Ballet says without the City of Joburg's financial backing, their productions have a minimal chance of making it to the stage.
At the Joburg Theatre Dance Studio, we found the cast of Big City, Big Dreams feverishly running through their paces. We had the opportunity to speak to Fiona Ramsey and Ian McDonald about the ballet and its financing.
So the story emanated from there. It's not a story like Jim comes to Joburg, someone that starts out of town and comes to the big city wide-eyed. It's about us who live in the city and what the city does to us, and how we kind of feed off its vibrancy. And I think that's the kind of essence we're trying to capture. We try to capture the spirit of the city, the urban kind of chaos, really, that we all have to negotiate every single day. And to translate that into dance. Johannesburg was once, one of the cultural centres of the country. I mean, it had amazing arts. It's hosted a great artist sporting events, kind of social events. It's obviously the nub of industry, business, mining. And so I see the production as a kind of celebration of that, of its glory days in a way, and its glory days that we are celebrating now and that are going to come.
Joburg Ballet is very fortunate to have the City of Joburg behind them. I think without their support, I don't think we would be as successful as we are. As you can imagine, putting a production together has huge cost implications. Thankfully, through our box office takings and the different sponsors that we have from various organisations, we're able to sustain ourselves. But it's a difficult process, and when I say box office, they don't generate as much income as we would like. So that's why we're doing this particular production, Big City, Big Dreams, because we want to try and attract a new, younger, vibrant audience to come and watch it, and hopefully they can be our future audiences going into the future now. Beyond Dance Theatre and moving into dance, joining with Joburg Ballet. And I think going forward into the future, as an arts organisation, we need to be seen collaborating and joining forces, and as one unit we can go and celebrate the amazing art form.
We then turned our attention to the exciting young cast leads to find out from them how their preparations are going.
When the 2 other companies came, they just wanted to see what's out there, and being able to do ballet and a bit of contemporary, getting to change your style of dance. That's what they're looking for, someone that could do all things. So I think for me, I really try to show my different side.
Connection is there.
Yeah.
I feel her, she feels me,
Yeah.
but we still have a challenge because sometimes we have, in between the choreography, there's sections that we're supposed to do.
Yeah. And
He's used to her own way,
Yeah.
I used to my own way, but
we
we're
kind
there.
of have to give
We're
each
there.
other the chance.
I just want to shift their mind, how they think about dances, and start to respect us as everyone else who has like different jobs
Yeah,
about
because
what we do.
in the story itself, it's all about him, and he sees this amazing art form, and he's like, how can he impact that? And
Yeah.
I think that's what people really need to know, that the art form's dying, and like people really need to step in and just, support us.
I'm Ray for Joburg Today.